I'm Nukila Evanty from Indonesia. I have been selected to speak by WWG. There is a link between narcotics crime and human trafficking as experienced by Mary Utami, or MU, a woman from Sukoharjo, Central Java, Indonesia. She was dragged into a drug case in 2001, which started when she went to Taipei in Hong Kong to become a migrant worker to support her poor family. She met members of drug syndicate and she were manipulated by professional drug traffickers into bringing 1.1 kilograms of heroin at Soekarno-Hatta Airport, Indonesia on October 2001. In 2003, Mary was sentenced to death because she was convicted of illegally importing drugs into Indonesia. But she insists that she had no knowledge of her role. She is a victim of domestic violence and human trafficking. Mary's appeal was rejected by the Tangerang High Court in Indonesia in 2002. In 2014, the Supreme Court refused to annul her death sentence. Then the National Commission on Violence Against Women, or Komnas Perempuan, assessed that judge and law enforcement parties who handled the Mary Utami case didn't understand the women's case, which contains elements of trafficking in persons. In this case, law enforcement doesn't recognize the link between human trafficking and drug syndicates. On the other hand, the American Center International Labor Solidarity, or ACILS, in its updated Manual of Assistance for Victims of Trafficking in Persons in the legal process in Indonesia, states that victims of trafficking in person can include migrant workers, domestic helpers, sex workers, bride orders, foreign nationals is marrying Indonesian women by ordering on women trafficking brokers, child laborers, cultural exchange, and women as drug couriers. A similar case was in 2010. Mary Jane, or MJ, a Filipino woman who was offered a job as a housemaid in Kuala Lumpur by someone who really she didn't know. When she arrived in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the job wasn't available and MJ was asked to go to Yogyakarta, Indonesia, instead with a new suitcase and $500 in case. Then the Indonesian immigration officers at Yogyakarta, Indonesia airport found in her suitcase 2.6 kilograms of heroin. The perpetrators of human trafficking, both against MJ and MU, took advantage of their ignorance to get a profit by leaving a bag containing drugs, and the two perpetrators used MJ and MU to make profit by selling drugs in Indonesia. This action resulted in exploited MJ and MU facing the death penalty because they had to account for the illicit goods that didn't belong to them. It needs to enhance the capacity of law enforcement and judiciary on the provision of international governance on transnational organized crime, including narcotics, corruption, and human trafficking. And also it needs to be improved the law enforcement knowledge on the form and mode of trafficking in persons, not only ensnaring the field actors, but also reaching the main perpetrators, and can also identify who is the victim of trafficking in persons. So that it doesn't happen, the victim of trafficking in person are punished for criminal act that they didn't commit.